was really just me and my mom. My mom was a wild card, to put it best.
What are you doing?
There were a few things she was afraid of ever.
Okay, now my Chloe girl. I want you to be happy. I want you to travel.
My mother's name was Jennifer Joy, and she really lived that up. Nothing really worried her. Rent is due. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. When I was 16, for a couple of weeks, I went to go stay with a friend in California. And before I left, I told my mom, you really need to get that mole on your chest looked at. It's looking really gnarly. And just like she always did, it was no big deal. It was going to be fine. It was melanoma. While I was gone, they went to remove it. They did a full body scan, and that is when they found a golf ball-sized tumor in her brain. It's like trimming a weed. You can trim it down, but it's going to keep growing back because we can't get to the root of it and take it out. It has a place to continue coming back. At the beginning of my sophomore year of college, I remember the day my mom told me she was pregnant, and along came my sister, Charlotte. And from that point on, it was just, she was head over heels in love with Charlotte.
You do it. Bum.
So when Charlotte was about a year old, I was in college. My mom had been driving on her way back from her doctor was stationed in Nashville. Within the hour, she got a phone call. She just fell apart. She really broke down because, you don't have to answer the phone to know what that means. They told me, we need to schedule a surgery within the week. It is back, and it has come back very aggressively. They did the surgery, removed what they could, stapled it all back together. And this time they chose to be a little bit more aggressive with treatment. She was a lot more tired this time. Again, she got better. She began traveling again. She would foster animals, and she would take up new crafts. And, Charlotte was getting older. That was around the time that I met my husband. About a month into our relationship, I was just like, listen, this has been fun and all, but I need you to know there's going to come a day when my mom isn't here anymore.
Okay, now my Chloe girl. I want you to be happy. I want you to travel.
I became a realist very young, and Charlotte's going to end up being mine. I was flirting with the idea of eloping in Jamaica, and I was just like, but I don't want to hurt you.
Continue to travel and see beautiful new things. Make sure you see the waterfalls.
I began leaning into my baking. I'd grown somewhat of a social media audience. I wasn't just sharing my baking, I was also sharing some of my personal life. And it was right in the middle of that, when I was about 6 months pregnant, that my mom called me and said that it was back. I was extremely, extremely overwhelmed and extremely scared. I was having panic attacks on the regular, and I chose to talk about it, and I was using my social media to do that.
Today was the hardest day of my life. We have the results from Mom's CT scan and MRI. Someone sent her flowers, and I cannot thank you enough for how kind that was.
We really started building a community that was bigger than a customer base or something. We were building something that was people who cared about my mom and remembered the things that happened to her 6 months prior and were praying for her. That's such an immensely touching thing to do for a stranger.
I don't know how much I damaged my body going ahead and having another baby when I already was leaving one behind.
I think after that third time that it came back from my mom is when she had a really drastic shift in her health. Essentially, what became clear over the next week was that she was not doing well. They were going to go in and they were going to relieve pressure and put her on some very, very serious steroids. But if that doesn't work and this continues to get bad, they're not going to be able to do anything anymore. It was swelling on the brain again. At the end of it all, the thing that brought my mom to the end was, it wasn't the brain tumor. It was the amount of times that she tried to get rid of the brain tumor. It was that scar tissue. I had spoken to my mother's neuro-oncologist. She said, there isn't going to be another option anymore, unfortunately. There is no doctor who's going to consider an invasive surgery anymore. I know you love your mother, but it's time to think about her quality of life. It's time to think about her comfort. I was really beating myself up for not being able to save her. And I was telling her, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to make you proud. She squeezed out, I am proud. That was probably the last thing she ever said to me. And now,
my
Chloe girl.
I'm sorry to leave you with all this on your hands, my baby. Never meant to. I want you to be happy. I want you to travel. Continue to travel and see beautiful new things. I love you more than you can know. Please take good care of Jolly like I would. I love you, my girl. Hang in there. Keep plugging away and fighting.
There is a girl hanging by her broken leg from the telephone wire. We're going to need several ambulances.
How many people?
3. You really need to hurry.